Okay, so good day, good morning maybe. So this is the summer yoga for runners, and we've got about 30 minutes today, so not as long as we sometimes have to have a start of the day practice or get back into yoga if we've had a little bit of a break. So we're going to start today by lying on our back. So find your way onto your back, please, and just having a sense of how your body meets the floor. So you choose whether you want your legs extended at this stage or whether you prefer to have your feet on the floor with your knees bent, if that's more supportive for your legs. Sorry, for your back, if that's more supportive for your back. But if you're happy with the legs extended, then keep the legs extended. Have the arms just for a moment out to the side and just see how things are for you. So get a sense of your own well-being from a number of perspectives, if you like. So it could be, how do you feel in your body? Where's your thoughts and emotions right now? And where's your energy? So just to check in, whatever kind of you notice. And no idea about kind of locking yourselves into any stories. So just observe and move away rather than lingering stories around any of those things that you're noticing. So today we're going to focus on strength. So take your hands onto your belly for a moment and somewhere around your navel or slightly below your navel with your hands. So you can get a link to the real core of the center of your body now. And having a conscious connection with your breath in your center. And a connection, if it means anything to you, of your own strength, your inner strength, physical strength, whatever that might mean. As you feel your hands maybe move slightly on the in-breath and the out-breath. And be particularly interested in what's going on the out-breath. And being interested not just what happens with the belly, but what happens in the lower back, what happens with the waist on the out-breath. And if you can, just for the next few breaths, just try and see if it's possible without strain or force to lengthen the out-breath a little way. So you get a little bit more of a sense of that strength and kind of a sense of pulling together around the sides, the back and the front of the torso. So just that sense of coming in together to give you that sense of support in the center. And then let the breath just come back to a natural breath. But staying engaged as much as you can to that area of the body over the next few minutes as we change from being still into a little bit more active work. So bringing the feet onto the floor with the knees bent, with the feet perhaps hip distance apart. So heels broadly in front of your sitting bones, if you know where those are. And again, just see what's happened now to the center. How's it feel in the belly? How's it feel in the lower back? What's the relationship of the lower back to the floor? how much space, how comfortable you do feel in the lower back here. So we want to feel support in the lower back, but we don't want to feel any tension that creates a discomfort or an aching or a pain. Okay, so pay attention to the same area, the navel and below the navel at the side. Just bring take the feet off the floor so the knees come slightly closer in towards you, just slightly. So ideally there's still a little bit of a back bend, a little bit of an arch in the lower back. Then bring the knees closer into the chest so the lower back's down to the floor. See how it feels in the center of the body. And then take the knees slightly further away, more kind of like we're facing directly towards the sky. And then again, bring them in towards you, and let the back lower. So in breath, just let the knees drift away slightly, just so they're pointing upwards. Out breath, just bring the knees slightly closer in towards the chest. So just a couple more of those movements. But if there's any discomfort in the lower back, just take the feet back to the ground. It's not helping your back too much at this time. So give yourself a break rather than creating more discomfort. Okay, so next time the knees are pointing up towards the ceiling and there's a slight arch in the lower back, then circle the knees. So the knees are broadly, maybe slightly less than hip distance apart. Maybe a fist width difference apart. Circle in one direction, and then take that circle in the other direction. So there's a little bit of a massage for the lower back, but there's also that sense of core support in that area that we were focusing on almost right from the beginning. Around the navel, and that's that same point at the back from the navel and in the waist as well, both sides. Okay, and now just take your hands onto your knees, your feet still off the floor, and let the knees be heavy. So hopefully the lower back is broadly coming to the floor now as the arms are extended and the knees are resting away from the body with the hands just on the knees. Just give them enough support and restraint from falling away from you. And again, do the circles for a moment in one direction and then the other direction. Okay, and then we're just going to take the knees away from each other. So bring the knees in towards you, just fist distance apart, and then take the knees away and out to the side from each other. And then as the knees go away from you, bring the knees back together, and then just continue those circles, bringing the knees together and towards the chest, and then out to the sides and away from you and back together down the center. This time we've got more support because the arms are supporting the legs around the knees. There's still some work going on in your core. So next time you come to kind of the midpoint, your knees closest together, then do the opposite. Take the knees away from you, and then out to the side and then back in towards the chest. So it's, again, these circles and these come away from each other in the opposite direction to which you were going before. Again, if the lower back's feeling unsettled by this or unstable by this, then again, just let the feet go back to the floor and just rest there for a moment. Okay, great. So now everybody can just let go of the feet back towards the floor. Let the arms come by the side of the body. And just see now how the legs feel. The legs feel strong and connected into the center of the body, right into that core area. See how the arms feel in relationship to the shoulders and the backs of the shoulder blades on the floor. And just let the legs now lengthen out away from you. So you've got some release for the knees. Let the thighs just drift away to the side. Let the breath come back into center. Feeling the belly rise and fall. Okay, so we're going to move on to the first part of the Turkish get-up for those that know what I mean by that. So if you place your left foot onto the floor, so knees bent, left foot on the floor, take your right leg slightly out to the side, so it'd be 45 degrees, and the same with your arm, and have the forearm pointing down, so that's going to be your right arm down. Left arm reaches up towards the ceiling and you create a fist. So watch the first one if you don't know what's going to happen here. If not, if you know it and you're more familiar, then just follow me. So with a sense of almost punching up towards the ceiling, lift that left shoulder off the floor and come onto the right elbow. Maybe looking at the fist if that's comfortable, and then slowly just retrace your steps and come down as slowly as you can with as much control. And the belly will be doing the support there. Once you're down, release the arm, the left arm back down to the floor for a moment and relax the shoulders, the jaw, any tension in the body. And then we're going to do that again. I'm going to do it 2 more times. So again, get a little bit of strength in that arm, partly through the fist. Look at the fist if they're comfortable doing so. The shoulders at this point is off the floor, and then kind of punching across the body and up. Come up onto the forearm of the right arm and reach up and look up. From there, slowly retrace your steps, as slow but as smooth as you can to return all the way down and release that left arm. Take the fist into a more open position, so palm open, fingers open. Relax for a second so the body can release and let go, and just notice the impact of the movement. And then we're going to do the third and last one on this side. So re-engage that arm. When you're ready, reaching and pushing up towards the ceiling with that hand. Come onto the forearm of your right arm. Have a sense of lengthening through the arm so you feel really like you're lengthening up. And then just retrace your steps and lower down as slowly as you dare, with much control as you can, as smoothly as you can. Once you're down, then rearrange so that both legs are extended, both arms are out slightly to the side, palms facing up if that's comfortable. And just get a sense of how you feel now you're lying back down on the ground, how the right side feels compared to the left side. Okay, so hopefully you can still see the screen. If you need to turn around, I'm just going to turn around so I can do my opposite side. Okay, so this time it's going to be the right foot on the floor, knee bent, and the left leg out to the side slightly, 45-degree angle, arm out at a similar angle, and hand to the floor. Take the right arm up towards the ceiling with the fist looking at the right arm, and then it's almost like you're punching across the body to come forward and onto your forearm. Get that sense of length through the top arm, and then gently, smoothly as you can, retrace your steps, returning the right arm to the floor, and just let the fist unravel and just get yourself into a comfortable position for a moment before you do 2 more. Any tension in the body, just try and relax it if you can. So re-engage that right fist, re-engage that right arm, get the feeling of strength there. The muscles in the belly will be helping you, and the side body will be helping you. The forearm will also be doing the work, as will be the foot on the floor. So there's a lot of work going on in different areas here. So a sense of punching your weight upwards, Come onto your forearm of your left arm, reaching up, get that support, feel the right foot on the floor, right arm up, feel the left forearm and shoulder, feel a bit through the left hip on the floor, maybe the left leg. And then retrace your steps, coming down slowly and controlled as you can. And right arm down and relax for a second, releasing tension. Before you get ready for the third one. So extending the arm up, a little bit of a fist there. And you're going to use your right foot as well as your right arm to support you. Back up for the third time. Final time, lengthening through. Feel the foot up, right foot on the floor. Feel the connections to the ground. And then slowly releasing yourself back down for this third and last time on this left side. And again, just allow yourself to relax into, with the legs extended, arms slightly more comfortably closer to the body, wherever's comfortable for you and close into the body. And just see now how the body meets the ground and how the back feels, how the belly feels, how that kind of core connection feels, and how the shoulders are on the rib cage. So we've done upper body work as well as that core strength. Okay, so we're going to come up into bridge next. So I want you to bring your feet back on the floor, both feet with the knees bent and feet reasonably close to your butt this time. Create the arms into more of a, what I call robot arms. So elbows are, upper arms and elbows are closely into the body and the forearms are off the floor with the fingers pointing upwards. Make sure the shoulders are tucked underneath, shoulder blades are tucked underneath, so you've got support there. Okay, so just taking in breath, slightly arch back if that's comfortable. And on the out breath, press down through the arms, press down through the feet, and raise the bottom off the floor to whatever height feels acceptable to you without getting any crunching, nasty discomfort in the lower back. So the work goes on in the glutes, the inner thighs, the outer thighs, the inner arms, the outer arms. And then lower yourself down and spread and lengthen through the whole of the spine. A little bit of an in breath and arch, out breath flatten and then lift up. In breath at the top, breathing into the chest and the rib cage. Out breath and descend. Lengthening the back as you go. In breath for the arch and the lower back. Out breath flatten and lift up. In breath, slightly extend if you can through chest and the rib cage to get a little bit higher. Out breath and release down. Okay, so keeping this position. If you feel like your heels have moved away from your bottom, then just gently bringing those slightly closer towards you. So your feet are hip distance apart. Okay, so we're going to go up and do a more of a one-legged version, so that creates extra strength. So if the back was uncomfortable, keep the bottom slightly lower down, the pelvis slightly lower down. So in breath to slightly arch the lower back, out breath to lower the back, and bring yourself up into more of a diagonal, so not pushing yourself too far up through the pelvis. You are onto your shoulders and your shoulder blades here. Okay, so choose what you think is going to be your strong leg and press that foot slightly more into the ground to get support. From there, extend the other leg away. So just reaching your heel away here. You're trying to keep your pelvis where it is in neutral. So both thighs are kind of in line and the one leg, lower leg is extended away. And bend your knee and bring your knee towards your chest, but keeping that same level posture if you can. And then extend the leg away again as you were before. Keeping that length through the whole of the back, bend the knee slightly in towards you and extend away so the thighs are in line. One leg's extended. And bend that knee so the foot comes to the floor, re-engage the pelvis, and then lower yourself all the way down, slowly lengthening through the back, and this time bring your knees into your chest to get the lower back off the floor and bring your head through and up towards your forehead, towards your knees. And lengthen back down, do the head, bring the feet back to the floor, re-engage into cactus arms, re-engage with the heels close to the butt. So we're going to go up and do the other side. So in breath, slight arch, out breath, lower the back down and take the bottom off the floor. So remember, not quite so high because it's more testing with this one. So do what you can to get the support. So choose the opposite leg to be your strong leg. Press the foot slightly more in towards the ground. Lift then your other legs. Thighs are in line, but lower legs extended in towards the space in front of you. And from there, slightly bend the knees if it's coming towards the chest. As long as that's okay for the lower back, no further than it's happy. Extend away as you were before. And one more time, bringing the knee towards the chest. Extend the leg away. And then we'll bend the knee to release that foot to the ground. Lower yourself slowly with control, if you can. And again, just bring the knees into the chest and head towards the knees so the lower back comes off the floor. Just release the lower back. Excellent. Okay, so feet to the floor. And if you take your right leg now, or your right thigh over your left thigh, and you let the legs, arms out to the side where they're comfortable, and let the legs go over to the right, as long as that's okay. Again, for knees, lower back. So you get a sense of length through the left side of the body, from the armpit all the way down to the knee. So we're lengthening the body out now. And to some extent, there's strength coming into the side body. Certainly more connection with the side body again, which we got partly when we did the Turkish get-up. And then gently, 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 out breath, bring the knees back up to centre. Undo the legs, and opposite thigh over, so left thigh over right thigh. And then let the legs drift over to the left. Time for space there, just to readjust. And again, as long as it's okay for knees, then just experience that lengthening now through the right side of the body. Breathe into the right side of the body if you can. Any discomfort, then please come out a bit earlier. Our breath is usually more supportive to get you out of this. Okay, so out breath comes, knees come back up to centre. And unravel the legs. Excellent. Okay, just let the legs extend away again for a moment to relax. Feel the breath in the belly again. Expanded on the in-breath and contracting and returning on the out-breath. Making go any tension in the shoulders, in the neck, in the throat, in the jaw, the tongue, in the cheeks, in the eyes, in the forehead. Okay, Brilliant. So bringing the knees, bending the knees and bringing the feet back to the floor, knees into chest, and just roll over to one side. We're going to come up onto our knees now. So finding a happy place for hands and knees. So at some point we will be taking one arm forward and one leg behind us, so just checking that you've got space. But the first movement will not be that. So we'll be taking your legs behind you in a minute, but not your feet, not your hands, sorry. So let's see how we go here. So hopefully you feel comfortable with the arms, feeling the strength in the inner arms and outer arms. And the hands really connected to the ground. Feeling the strength still in the belly, hopefully connect to that core support so that you're not collapsing in the belly. Some support there. And it's not really just the front of the belly, it's the whole area around that centre of support. And then just take one foot behind you, so you're on the ball of the foot and toes of the foot, and you're reaching into your heels so you get a bit of extension. Press down with the hands so you're not collapsing in the chest. And then release. And opposite side, just taking the leg back, pushing back slightly, foot on the ground, heel back, and back to all fours. Okay, so I'm slightly renegotiating my space. So this time we're doing laterals, where you extend your right leg behind you at kind of the height of your hip, rather than don't take it too high, and don't let it be too low either. So it's kind of hip level with the extension through the right heel, and then just extend through the left hand. So taking the left arm in front of you, suggestion is thumb up, little finger down, and looking down so the neck is long, belly is still supporting you, and release right knee and left hand, and then extend through the left leg at hip height, through the heel, toes down, opposite arm, so you get that diagonal lateral lengthening, but support still through the centre of the body. And back into centre. Excellent. So here, just take the bottom back towards the heels for a moment, pushing back, and then coming up onto all fours again. Tuck the toes under, maybe just take the hands a little bit further forward. We're just going to go up into downward dog for a few goes, and then I'll just show you what we're doing as a sequence. We'll just do one sequence and then we'll stand. Okay, so just taking the bottom back towards the heels and the shoulders towards you, and the next time you come back with the bottom, take the knees off the floor so that you come up into a downward dog, but with the knees bent. Come back onto your knees, bottom back towards heels, really getting that forward bend, and then come forward, and as you reach back, pushing back into the thighs, but keeping the knees as bent as you need for the hamstrings, back onto knees, reaching back through the bottom, come forward with the shoulders, and again going up. Coming back onto your knees, and just find a comfortable place for a moment, and I'll just make a suggestion of what we do as an added sequence to this. Okay, so it's only one brief addition really. So just taking the knees back, we come forward again, we go up into downward facing dog. Hopefully you can see I'm bringing my knee in, and then I'm taking it, my leg extending up, and then opening up through the hips to open up, and coming back into neutral, lowering the leg down. So the same on the opposite side, bring my knee in, extend the leg away, and then open up, and down onto my knees. So just a little bit more opening for the hips there. Okay, so join me next time. So back to all fours, bottom back, forward with the hands, reach back with the bottom and knees off the floor and up into downward facing dog. Let's pick the left foot off the floor, reaching back, up and back, and then taking the hip, left hip towards the ceiling, leveling back out with the hips, return the foot to the floor, bend the knees again, and opposite side. So right foot, right leg off the floor, up towards the sky, open up that right hip, get it back parallel, right to left hip, foot back to the floor, bend your knees again, and come down onto all fours, and just find a comfortable position if you can in child's pose. So I've got my knees wide and my toes, back big toes touching, but if you prefer to have your knees close together, you can. I've wrapped my arms around my legs, but if you prefer to have your arms out forward, or even stacking the hands, if that's more of a relief for the back. And if none of that works, then you come onto your back and just bring your knees into your chest. So just taking 2 or 3 more breaths here. And then hands under the next out breath, hands under the shoulders, and you're going to find your way up to standing now. So just finding a comfortable boot up. Okay. So see how you are standing and how the posture feels. So our hips in relationship to rib cage in relationship to the skull. So we're looking for a broad alignment between the 3. So just see how that is in your experience. Let the shoulders relax and release. And just return your hands to your belly like you did when you were lying down. Just get a sense of the center of the body again. And feeling the strength in the center of the body. Sense of expansion on the in-breath and contraction on the out-breath. And release the hands on the next, after the next breath. Give your arms a shake out. Give your legs a shake out. Have your breath just release a little bit. A sigh. Have a wake up. Have a bit of a dance about. Just loosen and relax. So, thank you for coming this morning, and having a little bit of strength work. So that's our 30-minute session for Yoga for Runners summer class. So I'll be here next week. So thank you for joining me.